Hello, everyone. Welcome to Testimony Wednesday. For any of you that is returning, welcome back. Testimony Wednesdays. I basically go over an experience that I have had that in my life that has helped strengthen my trust and faith within the Lord. It displays the goodness and the faithfulness of the Lord and how He has been in my life and always been in my life, even when I didn't know He was there. I tell these testimonies without shame, with asking for no handout in any nature. And I'm going to start for this testimony. This happened in maybe 2005. I was 15 years old. This is a hard testimony for me because it took me a while to forgive myself for this one. Okay, about 14 years old. I know I was young. I was in a very severe depression, and I would try to get out of reality as much as possible, whether I was in a video game or I sleep my life away. I did not want to be on the earth. I just did not want to be here. And growing up in Bible study, I learned that we were taught that heaven is a place with no worries, no pain. There's peace in heaven. And it's a peace that, it's no other. It's peace. It's love. It's everything. It's not like earth. And in this particular day I had in my mind, and I know the enemy, at the time, I did not understand how much the enemy was kind of on me, like pruning me to do this. But I had this thought in my head of, you know what? If heaven is peace and there's no worries in heaven and there's no troubles and there's nothing but love and joy and happiness, that's where I want to go. I want to go with my Father which art in heaven. I want to be with my Creator. I do not like earth. I had trouble being around people. It was hard. Earth was just, I didn't want to be here. And this particular morning, I was going off to school. Well, my mom came woke me up normally for school. I was in a very severe depression. I did not want to go to school. I did not want to wake up. Waking up was offensive to me. So my mom came and woke me up from school, and I have been giving my mom a very hard time waking up each morning because I didn't want to go. I didn't want to be around people. I didn't even want to be here. So I was like, especially trying to go to school. Kids are cruel. It was just like I didn't want nothing to do with it. So I gave my mom a hard time that morning, and I was just telling my mom, I just don't want to be around people. I don't want to go. And we had got into a little argument, and words were said. I'm not gonna repeat the words, but it was a very hurtful time because I was already in a deep depression. So my mom left the room. I got up. I remember I was like, you know what? I'm done with this. I'm done with this. I'm done with life. I'm about to go somewhere where there's no trouble, where there's no worries, where there's peace and happiness, and I get to be with my Father which art in heaven. And I walked downstairs. I remember my dad was asleep. He was knocked out on the couch, and I just looked at him and I said, bye. I remember looking at him and saying, bye, Dad. I walked past him. I went in to the dining room, and I seen there was groceries on the table. Now, I don't know if my mom went grocery shopping that night or that morning, but it was groceries on the table. And I just remember it was like, you know what? I'm about to have my last meal. So I don't remember particularly what I ate, but I do remember not fully everything I ate. I remember I had some Sunny D orange juice and some type of Debbie cake. I do remember that. I ate that, and I went ahead into the kitchen and went to the medicine cabinet. And I knew that there was a bunch of medication in there My dad was taking medication for mental illness, and I seen those pills as well, and I seen like pain medicine and all that stuff. We had a whole medicine cabinet, so I just started popping open. My whole mindset was I'm not being here anymore. I'm done. Popping open, popping, taking handfuls, popping, drinking Sunny D, popping, just popping, and drinking Sunny D. And I'm just swallowing all these pills. And I don't even remember the facial expression I had when I was walking up them stairs after taking all that medication, all them pills, stuffing it down. Like I knew, I was like, this is it. I'm done. I'm out of here. I'm so fed up with this life. So I walk upstairs. My mom, I can smell her fragrance. She was in the shower, still getting ready for work. And I lay back in the bed. And I just remember crossing my hands. And I was like, I'm done. And this is how they gonna find me. And the sad thing about it is when you take your life, you don't think about nobody else. You just think about ending the pain and ending it all. I'm not saying it's the proper thing to feel, but I knew some darkness. I didn't know at the time, but now I know now that something heavy was up on me and pruning me to take my life. And I was just like young, not understanding the difference from spiritual warfare. I didn't even understand. But I laid in that bed, I crossed my arms, and everything went black. I remember everything went black. And the next thing, it felt so quick. Vomit. Literally, it was like eyes open, vomit. I turned my head to the side. Thank God in my room we had hardwood floors. I slept on the top bunk bed, so the vomit came out my mouth onto the floor, onto the hardwood floors. And when I tell you, it was like an astral projection, some type of exodus type junk. It was so much, and it burnt so bad. I remember tears coming out it took everything out of me for that vomit to come out of my body. Like tears were coming down, my throat was burning from the acidity of the orange juice, and my body is shaking and weak. And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, why am I still here? And I'm already weak. I'm already hurting. I'm crying because of the pain of the vomit. And not only that, just still being here. My mom walks in. She looks at me and she says, you better clean all this shit up. Excuse that language. You better clean all that S up. So I hopped down off the bed and I kind of tilted my body away from the vomit because it was directly down on the ground where if I would get down from my bed, I was going to step on it. I don't remember having a ladder, but I would remember just kind of coming down off my bed. And I think we did have a ladder, but I never used it. Well, it was something in nature. So I I was so weak, walked downstairs and went to the kitchen and grabbed a mop. When I tell you, I was so weak, I don't even know if that was me controlling my body. I don't. I didn't even grab any water. I literally grabbed the mop. I cleaned up all the vomit, and I was so weak that I left the vomit mop in my room next to the wall. After that, no, I didn't. I wrung it out. Stop lying. I wrung it out, and I put it back in the bucket downstairs. And I got back in my bed, and I remember falling back to sleep. And when I woke up, I was greeted by the dead. And many may say, Olivia, that is crazy. Yes, I was seeing dead people, and they Literally. I woke up, matter of fact, I woke up in the dark and I felt something heavy. And I told one of my sisters to turn on the light because I was in the dark. And I knew I wasn't, I was like, is this, when I woke up in the dark, I was like, is this heaven? It ain't supposed to be dark. What is this? Oh my Lord, where am I? But I was like, am I still on earth? So I said, turn on the light. I heard one of my sisters in the hallway and they turned on the light. And as soon as they turned on the light, I seen something. Like, imagine me flat on my back and I'm looking at the ceiling and I seen something, a human. It looked like a human floating over me. And it was so many that kept coming. And they were just, it seemed like they were introducing themselves to me, like their faces kept appearing over and over. And it was so shocking. And I was like, do you see that? Do you see that? And this is going to have to be for another testimony. But let me go back into it. Yeah, the enemy had blessed me with the ability to see the devil. And it was, I mean, not the devil, the dead. And that's a whole nother testimony. But at the end of the day, God kept me. He kept me, even though I was prompted by the enemy to take my life. He kept me. For anyone that is struggling with suicide and try to taking their life, please, Lord, please seek help. Please call or text 988. That is the suicide and crisis lifeline. Please call or text 988. And I say all this to say that God kept me. It was so much attached to my life. If that would have succeeded, I would have never met my husband. I would have never had my kids. It would have damaged my family so much. So I am thankful that God kept me and that me being prompted by the enemy and his plans to prompt me to take my life did not succeed. Amen. And I'm still here standing. I am still here. And for anyone that's struggling with depression, anyone that's struggling with suicidal thoughts, please seek help. Please seek help. Please call that hotline at 988 or reach out to your Heavenly Father. Whatever you got to do, get some help. And I just thank God for keeping me. And that is one of my testimonies of my life. I could have been gone, but He kept me here. And it is nothing but Him that I'm still here to this day. And I'm so thankful to be here. And I had to forgive myself for trying to take my life. I had to forgive myself and I asked for forgiveness. And that is something, me trying to take my life is something that I was ashamed of. But He kept the calling on my life. He kept me. And I'm so thankful that He did. And all the glory be to Him. I am here still to this day because of my Heavenly Father. Because I didn't have to throw up. I didn't have to still be there. I did not have to still be here. But I would say, for Thou is the kingdom, the power, the glory, forever and ever. It belongs to Him. Sorry the video was so long, but this one was deep. And I love you guys. I hope and pray that this testimony touched whoever it needed to be touched. And once again, God is love. He loves you. Hold on. This life can be rough, but hold on. And do not let the enemy talk you out of taking your own life and ending your purpose on this world. I love you guys. Until next Wednesday.